All right, so good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining another edition of Kaizen um, weekly book review session. We started this session a while ago. This week, or sometimes ago, we started reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Good enough, we have covered 17 chapters out of the, I think, 21 or 22 chapters in the book. So, yes, out of 20 chapters in the book, we have covered 17, and the 17 sessions focused on um, on four laws of building a fantastic atomic habit. Anu Luapo, that's Moradeyo, did a journey so far with us last week, where she took us through all of the five books that we have read and the key highlights from those books. This week, we are proceeding, and just a bit of summary about the book we are reading, Atomic Habits. James Clear gave us four laws of building habits and gave us the inverse of those four laws of how to crack or do away with bad habits. The first law was making it obvious. James Clear made it clear to us that for any good habit you want to learn, you must make it obvious for you to learn it. And the inverse of the law means that you must be able to hide bad habits and anything that will trigger it for you to build it. Second law was make it attractive, meaning that for any new thing you want to learn, for any new habit you want to build, you must entice and motivate yourself by making it something you can find attractive. And the inverse is that make it unattractive if it's a bad habit. The third law is make it easy, meaning for any good habit you want to imbibe, you must make it easy for you to attain it. And the meaning or the inverse for bad habit is you must make it difficult. The fourth law is make it satisfying, enjoy it, make it rewarding, make it sweet, and having um, a reward out of a good habit. And if it's an evil or bad habit, you must make it dissatisfying, meaning that you will not like it. So now, after those four laws, it now gave us three additional tactics that he tagged advanced tactics. And the header for that is how to go from being merely good to being truly great. And this week, we are reviewing chapter 18, titled The Truth About Talent, when genes matter and when they don't. And we've invited one of our very senior consultants to come and talk to us today. His name is Nuruddin Ali Balogun. So I'm going to hand over the invisible mic or the virtual mic to him as usual. We'll give him like 15 minutes to talk to us about the insight that he derived from chapter 18 tagged The Truth About Talent. And thereafter, we'll open the floor for us to share our thought as well, and then we can take it further. Nuruddin, over to you. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So it's good to be resuming back our reading for the year after the short end of the year break. And a good way to start is even the topic we are starting with, which is about how we can harness the power of our genes and our abilities to achieve better success, both in life and our habits. So, it is the first chapter in the section that is talking about how we can move from being merely good to being truly great. And it is one of the advanced tactics which is helping us to align our ambition with our biological abilities. And James Clear stated something there, which he says that genes do not determine your destiny, they merely determine your area of opportunity. And he started explaining this concept by comparing two athletes, one Michael Phelps and the other one Icham Guruj. One is a swimmer while the other one is a runner. Even though they have differences in their physiology, they share similarity in their inseam length, which is the length of their leg. They wear similar pants pants lengths. However, the difference in their physiology, like the ratio of their torso and the overall height and their weight, simply categorize them into two categories of athletes, where the two of them go with the parts that will really boost their chances of success. Because the physiology of Michael Phelps is ideal for a swimmer, while that of Isham is ideal for a runner. And Phelps is 40% heavier. And if he venture into running, especially the distance running, every pound is going to be against him. While the other guy, Isham, he doesn't have long legs and arms as well, which is actually required for swimming. So now imagine the two of them switching roles. It's going to be catastrophe and then failure. So which is just telling us that we should identify our strengths, where our genes and our abilities lies, and pick a path or environment that will help us to harness our full potential. And this takes us to the analogy of boiling water, where he explained the concept of having an egg and potato in the same environment, which is boiling water. In the same environment, the egg gets hard while the potato gets soft. And this is just telling us that genes provide a powerful advantage in favorable circumstances and a serious disadvantage in an unfavorable one. And the the takeouts I get from here is that we don't really need to complain about our nature. We just have to find the game on or an environment where our specific traits are our default winning condition. So meaning we should focus on our strengths and the environment that is right for it. And for us to actually get hold of these our strengths, he described a big five traits that will help us to understand this. And it said that our personality is a biological operating system, while these five traits are like the hardware that helps it to run. And he mentioned these five traits, which are openness, which is our willingness to be open to new adventures, our conscientiousness, which is how spontaneous or how organized we are, extroversion, which is how sociable are we, like are we solitary or more outgoing? Then agreeableness, how detached or how compassionate are we? And also neuroticism, which is talking about how stable or how anxious can we be under different conditions. So and yeah, we need to stop fighting our nature and just understand how these traits work for us and adapt it in the right condition and environment. And taking this to live scenarios, for us to design the habits that works best with us, we need to not follow the popular opinions or popular processes. We may need to adapt some of these things to our own peculiarities, e.g., in fitness, in reading, and how organized we are to achieve our daily tasks and goals. Example of this fitness, let me align it to myself. I noticed that when I try to work out in the morning, sometimes after working out, I feel very tired. And I experience the opposite of what they said I'm going to gain, that will be energized and cool. Sometimes I feel tired. And the opposite happens to me in the night. I actually have insomnia sometimes. So, and I notice that once in a while when I miss my workouts, like 2 days, and I want to try to just do it in the night, I notice that this actually makes me feel weak and force me to go to sleep. So a lot of times I adapt to doing my workouts in the night so that it will actually help me to sleep. The same thing with reading as well. I'm not someone that is very sporty. I'm not someone that is very into all this romance, sci-fi and co. What moves me is things around productivity, finances, and my technical stuff. So I align most of the books I read to these areas as well. So it is not always one size fits all. Understand yourself and align every situation to what suits you to achieve better to achieve better results. And one of the things that will also help us is what I call the algorithm of finding your game, which the book explains as the concept of exploration and exploitation. Here, it is just telling us that we may need to cast a wide net and try many possibilities. And while trying these possibilities, the one that seems to align with four laws, which we will still get to, is what we may need to focus our energy on and work hard on more to achieve better results. And I think for this one, especially if you have age on your side, if you are younger, it is easier to do more exploration than being able to quickly exploit the ones that suit you. And as well, it is always an ongoing concern because it is not like a total destination. At any point, we may explore other things, quickly try them out. If they suit us, we focus on them. If they don't, we just give it a timeline that is quite short. If it doesn't, you move on to other things that you may need to try out. And one of the people that have actually practiced this to their advantage is the company called Google, where they encourage their staff to adopt the 80%, 20% rule, where they focus 80% of their main job and 20% of their time to innovate. And this 20% innovation has given results to good products from Google, e.g., like Google Maps and some other Google AdWords and some other AI tools they are producing nowadays. So being able to exploit, continue exploring, and reiterating this will help us to always understand what works best for us and what we should focus our energy on. And there are four questions that will help us to identify our four unfair advantages according to the book, which is helping us to filter what we need to do during the exploration phase. One is what feels like fun to you, but is like work to others. Once we once we discover this, it is a pointer for us to work more on this and explore more. The second one is what makes you lose track of time, which is what keeps you in the flow state. Almost all of us know what keeps us in the flow state, but sometimes it's the ability to explore more. Then also, number three is where do I get greater returns than the average person? Which is where are you applying small efforts, but you are yielding large results. It is another pointer for you to focus on those areas. And the fourth one is what comes naturally to you. And the things that comes naturally to you that you take for granted are sometimes difficult for others. And if we explore this very well, it can become an area of opportunity for us. And this is also taking us to the place where it is saying sometimes, even if you don't really see a route or like you are in a crowded place where almost everybody has the same kind of trade, the same thing, and the competition is high, you may need to just craft a route or a niche for yourself by studying yourself and having combinations of different traits or characters that can help you to distinguish yourself. And he used Scott Adams as an example where he combined his drawing skills, his business background, and his humor together to build a rare combination. And this gives him a very good personal brand without competition. And it also talks about specialization, where it can actually overcome genetics as well. And he made reference of the analogy of if there is a competition of arm wrestling between a bodybuilder and a arm wrestler, even though the bodybuilder physically looks like he should win because of the muscles and co. But because the arm wrestler has perfected that craft, he knows the tactics, he knows the right way to stand, and his arms actually have that concentrated strength for those kind of sports. He has more chances of winning over the body builder. And this is taking us also to the point where he mentioned that genes is not really telling us to be lazy, or when once we discover where our strength lies, we should just be lazy about it. It is telling us that where our strength lies is what is pointing us where we should focus our time on and where we need to work harder on. And then the truth is that genes tell us what to work hard on. It defines the ceiling, and hard work determines how close we get to the ceiling. And until you work as hard as those you admire, you cannot dismiss their success as just mere luck. And this is bringing me to something I coined out of my understanding of the book, which is like the success formula. And I derived the formula that says that success is equal to self-realization plus opportunity plus hard work. So what this chapter is telling us mainly is about self-realization, which means what? We need to understand ourselves, know where our strength lies, know where our weaknesses are, and we continue reiterating, exploring different skills, different scenarios to see, because sometimes we don't really know the full strength we have until we try. But the main thing is just to quickly try, see if it works for you. If it does, continue. If it doesn't, leave it, and you work hard on it. And you find the right opportunity and the right environment to explore more. And you really need to work hard to be able to harness the profits that comes with exploring your abilities and gene. And let me just quickly make some analogies before the time is up. So I will make an analogy of a chicken that is always playing with a group of ducks. And one day they are going to the river, and it also followed them. To him, he just believes that they've been playing together and they are the same, and it follows them to the river. After taking the first two steps, the ducks were floating, but it was about to drown, and they just really quickly have to help him out. I mean, the ducks have to help him out. This is just telling us that fine, you may be in a group of people and you may likely forget who you are. You may likely forget your own abilities and just want to behave like them, which is making you losing your track, and you may not win in the game where their own strength lies. And another analogy I would like to mention here is that of an eagle that was raised by a mother hen alongside other chicks. And all it knows all his life is how the hen and chickens behave. He doesn't know itself. It doesn't know its own strength. Then one day, after it has grown a little bit, it was fortunate to see an adult eagle flying, and it was like, this this guy I'm seeing in the sky looks like me more than these other chickens I grew up with. And this sparked some curiosity in it, and started trying all his best to see if it can do what the eagle itself did. And soon enough, it was able to realize its potential to fly, and to fly higher like the adult eagle. And this is also telling us that sometimes we may have some inherent or some inbuilt talent or skills, but we may not be able to realize them until we will find ourselves someone we can look up to, or like a mentor, or someone who has what we have and can help us bring out the best in our self. And this is bringing us to the end, where I'm rounding up with the conclusion that the secret of maximizing our odds of success is choosing the right field of competition by identifying our nature, finding the right field, and exploiting it to the best of our advantage. Thank you so much, and I will be handing over to the moderator.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nuruddin, for that calm, in-depth, and value-filled review. I don't know if you have any comment or anything to share, please feel free to raise your hand. Nuruddin, you can see a lot of accolades dropping for you because of the way you have dissected and discussed that chapter. While we're waiting for people to raise their hand, I want to refresh our memory to chapter 11. When I was reading this particular chapter, I remembered that chapter, so I had to start looking for it until I got it. Okay, so that chapter was tagged "Walk slowly but never backward." So they told us about a professor in University of Florida that did a an experiment, a social experiment. So he split the class into two. Some set, he called them set quantity. I don't know if you all remember that review. And then the other set, he called them set quality. So he told the people quantity to produce, and it was about pictures, right? So he told them to produce thousands of quantities or thousands of pictures. And his goal was, he told them that first 100 will be ranked A, second 90 B, third C. So basically, he was marking them based on the number of pictures they produced, right? So if they're able to produce 10,000, they'll be rewarded. And he focused on the team quality and told them, team quality, I need you to only give me one picture that is extremely quality. And he said, after the whole experiment, do you know the shocking part of it? The shocking part was team quantity produced the most quality pictures, while team quality struggled to provide one. And what he told us is what Nuruddin told us here. What we learned from that experiment is that the more you do, the more you learn. If you pay more attention to, I must get one right, and you continue to struggle on it, you might not get the best out of it. But you want to do two, you did 1, 2, 3, but by the time you get to 6, you start seeing your flaws. 7, you start getting better. 8, 9, 10, the quality start increasing. That was what the experiment told us. And that is very important to us. Some of us, we are gentle. Because we are gentle, we believe that we are not aggressive about life. Some of us are good in reading. You believe that because you're good in reading, you might not necessarily be a speaker. So what they are telling us here, there's one line I highlighted. They said specialization is a powerful way to overcome the accident of bad genetics. It's saying that even if you have some limitations in yourself, once you start paying attention to something you truly want to do and you are practicing and you are putting in energy into it, you'll get it done, right? And those 5 areas, I acronymed them to be OCEAN, that is openness to experience. How many of us truly want, all of us, when I read this chapter, I discussed with Atom and I was asking, what do you think about all of these things, right? So you see that some of us, we have spectrum, openness to experience. Some of us want to explore. And that's when you go to public areas. Some people want to go and swim in the ocean. Some people want to swim in the beach. Some people want to do some very crazy and risky things. Some people just want to stay on their own, right? The other one, some people are very organized. Some people are not organized, right? Some people are extrovert. Some people are introvert. Some people are agreeable. That's about agreeableness. Some people are just anything you say, Mr. Right, Mr. Yes Man, they are fine. While some people are very combative and not accepting anything except it is good. And lastly, is some people are very anxious, emotional, while some people are not. So at the end of it, what this chapter is telling all of us is don't limit yourself with what you think are your own personal genes. That's number one. However, you need to also appreciate yourself. Self-awareness is key here. You need to know who you are. And it's saying that if you don't know who you are, you'll be competing in the wrong way. Some people are very good in calculation. If that is it, they are very common courses that are good in calculation. Pick them. You will see that you will succeed so easily in the act of making it easy because it's your area. While some people are good in reading prose and some people are good in both, right? So what they're just telling us is know yourself, build yourself, specialize in yourself, make yourself different from others because of that, right? You are among 200 colleagues. All of you are just together. You are just together, right? But you need to differentiate and specialize yourself with a skill that you know they don't have. And there's a common saying that says that if it is easy, every other person will do it. You see people in doing a lot of things. So basically, I truly want us to reflect deeply into our personality. Look at your personality. What are those things that you do so easy? Like one of the questions that Nurundi reiterated is, what are the things that you find pleasurable, but it is pain to others, right? So that thing that you do pleasurable, that you do effortlessly, but people have to struggle to do, it's your strength. How do you build it to specialize and differentiate yourself and build habits around it, right? If you like talking, if you enjoy talking, I know we are exceeding time, our branding off now. If you like talking and you enjoy talking, don't use it to start gossiping and say, if you want to know the most or the best gossiper in the whole wide world, go and meet Kazim. Only gossip, he can gossip, right? That is something that differentiates you from others because you talk. How do you start sharpening your communication skills? How do you start sharpening your public speaking skills? How do you start sharpening how you present and how you engage people? So that is exactly what this chapter is saying. And we'll be proceeding to chapter 19 next week. We are still looking for a reviewer. So if you're interested, you can reach out to any of the admin. And this chapter 19 is tagged The Goldilocks Rule, how to stay motivated in life and work. So we'll be taking it next week. We want to thank everyone for joining us this week. Nuruddin, I want to thank you for helping us out this week because this is the second time Nuruddin is coming here. Because some of us did not indicate interest. He had to sacrifice to come again. So we appreciate that sacrifice. Don't forget, follow us on LinkedIn. We are also on Instagram. We are also on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube. All of our videos are available on YouTube. Please subscribe. In fact, when I watch some videos and I see people 40 million views, 10,000 views, are like, what? Why are people not viewing our own? It's because some of us are not sharing and engaging it ourselves. So please Go to our page is Kaizen Reading Group. Follow it, like it, subscribe, and share with families and friends. I want to thank you again, Nurdin, and thank everybody that joined us today. See you next week for another exciting Kaizen weekly book review. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.